Hello and welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute-a-day podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse, recorded here in the dining room of the Bible Bistro, located in Sharonville, Ohio. Hey there, friend. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. Well, come on in here and sit down with me. Open your Bibles up. We're going to look today at Psalm 115, verses 4 through 8. Now, as I said yesterday, we're going to do a comparison. So our God, who is in the heavens, he does whatever he pleases because he can, because he's God. But the heathen, the ones who said, "Where now is their God?" Well, apparently, because they're dissatisfied and because of unbelief, they go ahead and they create a God for themselves. Notice, now we're going to read verses 4 through 8. Their idols are silver and gold, the work of men's hands. They have mouths, but they speak not. Eyes have they, but they see not. They have ears, but they hear not. Noses have they, but they smell not. They have hands, but they handle not. Feet have they, but they walk not. Neither speak they through their throat. They that make them are like unto them. So is every one that trusts in them. Now, of course, the heathen now, they've said, "Where is now their God?" They're mocking trust in the Lord. They're mocking the people of God, saying, "Not unto us, O Lord, not unto us, but unto thy name give glory, for thy mercy and thy truth." And the heathen hear that, and they respond by saying, "Oh, where is now their God?" Just like Peter records, "Where is the promise of his coming? For all things remain as they were since the fathers fell asleep." And then you have this statement in 3, our God is in the heavens. Now the contrast is with the gods that are not in the heavens. Where are they? Well, somebody made them, therefore they're in somebody's closet, or they're in somebody's living room, or they're in somebody's backyard, or they're in somebody's garage, or wherever they are. They're not in the heavens. They're the work of men's hands. Now you can compare this to Psalm 135, verses 16 through 19. We have a similar statement there. It's not as full as this one. They have mouths, but they speak not. Eyes have they, but they see not. They have ears, but they hear not. Now, those 3 phrases, 16 and the first part of 17 in Psalm 135, are just like what we have here, but then 135 shortens it and says, "Neither is there any breath in their mouth. They that make them are like them." So it doesn't fill out as much. Here we have, they have mouths, eyes, ears, hands, feet, and a throat. So you see, the psalmist here in 115 makes it quite a bit more full, the description of these idols and what they cannot do. They can't see, they can't speak, they can't see, they can't hear, they can't smell, they don't have hands, so they can't handle anything. They have feet, but they can't walk anywhere. And then he gives the pronouncement, just like in 135, "They that make them are like unto them, and so is everyone that trusts in them." In the New Testament, the Apostle Paul in Romans chapter 1 says something very similar. He says, "Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools, and changed the glory of the incorruptible God into an image made like unto corruptible man, and to birds, and to four-footed beasts, and creeping things. Wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness through the lusts of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves." When they make them or like them, you could see that the foolishness and the darkened heart of man has done something horribly wicked. And of course, what is the creation of an idol? Well, that is the breaking of, the second law in the 10 Commandments. You shall have no other image. There will be no other God. That's the first one. But then you were not going to make an image. And so these men said, "Well, where is God?" And then they go ahead and they make this image. And then I want you to notice the very last thing there in verse 8. "They that make them are like unto them, so is everyone that trusts in them." So people actually trust in these idols? Yep, absolutely they do. But what are they trusting in? And then there's going to be a contrast set up between what we have in 9 through 11. I'll read those verses tomorrow, and we'll talk about that then. But trust versus trust. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Trust versus trust. So join me then here on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. For more fresh and delicious Bible studies, podcasts, books, and more, check out the Bible Bistro online and on YouTube. Join me again next time for Daily Dose Radio.